Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your March the 28th Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. Okay. Can you see that? It's entitled Trust in Our Message and Our Bond. Over and over, we see members from rival nations or neighborhoods, from different faiths or families, come to love and trust each other in the rooms of NA. Guiding Principles, Tradition 10, Closing Reflection. Our traditions enable NA to bring addicts from all walks of life together in a single fellowship. We often remark how addiction does not discriminate, so neither should we. Tradition 3 ensures an open policy of membership, and Tradition 10 helps us learn to leave our outside baggage at the door when we join together in recovery. Unity, anonymity, common welfare. Our traditions are rich with principles guiding us to better embrace one another, regardless of. It all sounds great in theory, but it's the practice that really matters. As in NA, many other organizations value principles like unity and acceptance. They appear in their mission statements and may inspire principled actions to varying degrees. That, of course, is none of our business. We keep our focus where it should be, on what happens in NA, in our groups and service bodies, and as individuals. Are we embodying the principle we hold dear? As we stay clean and carry the message, the connections between our experience as recovering addicts, our primary purpose, and NA unity become much clearer. An H&I trusted servant wrote, I served on a jail panel with a couple of other members, and we joked that we were like characters in a bad TV show. A former gang member, a retired cop, and me, a defense attorney. We shared together twice a month for a few years, and now we are bonded for life. No matter what our differences are, carrying the message joins us together in a special way. We addicts are uniquely qualified to help other addicts. We have been there. This helps newcomers trust our message and grow to trust us too. In spite of our surface level differences, sharing and serving together with other members helps us deepen that trust. Our message is truly a tie binding us together that is stronger than anything that might tear us apart. Carrying the message is a bond sharing, serving, and recovering together. I will trust in that bond with my fellow addicts today. Whew, I'm glad I got through that last part. Whew, my goodness. I just don't understand why so much has to be squeezed into just one meditation. This is an awesome meditation, and there's many directions we could go in to unpack it. However, I think that I just want to go into our serenity prayer first, and then I'll share briefly, okay? Join me. Take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the serenity prayer. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You know, I really do think that when we're talking about our Tradition 10, when we're talking about the things that we say are dear to us, that we hold close, right? When we're talking about that, there's a difference between just studying it, right? Going over the information and actually being able to apply it. I believe the application part takes longer time. This particular meditation is talking about tradition 10, and it's talking about unity, anonymity, and our common welfare. This is what tradition 10 says. Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the NA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. So, in a meeting, people share about a number of things. And the problem is that we're so used to the atmosphere of recovering, allowing us to share about what is affecting us, what is important to us. However, when we talk about what Narcotics Anonymous is, we don't have any opinion collectively on outside issues. So when a person starts to share about Roe v. Versus Wade, right? So when we start talking about abortion issues, union issues, the politics, whether you be a conservative, whether you be Democratic, or you might be a Republican, it's very inappropriate to, in your share, start talking about politics, to start talking about your opinion on whether abortion should be legal up until 9 months of pregnancy or 3 months after pregnancy. Really, I can't imagine. But to sit in a meeting and start sharing on those topics is going to confuse someone that may not know that that's not okay. And so now when we're in tradition 10, we're talking about being responsible for carrying this message clearly. I'm sure you have opinions. I'm sure most people have opinions on the NRA. Most people have opinions about whether or not certain guns should be legal. We just had a shooting in Tennessee. My goodness, a 28-year-old woman went into a school that she used to attend, and she killed 6 people. I'm sure people have opinions about whether or not those guns she used should have been accessible, but they're not appropriate in the meeting. They're not appropriate to talk about in the meeting. And so I want to challenge you today to make sure that when it comes to tradition 10, be about what we say we're about, right? And start monitoring the way that you share. Now, I'm not worried about you monitoring someone else's share. There should be a chairperson that has an understanding and the ability to interrupt a share when it goes sideways. And when it does, say, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that is an opinion on an outside issue. Let's take a moment of silence and redirect your share, please, for whatever time. It takes courage to do that. And most of the time, you will find that chair people will only do it after a person has shared. There won't be any correction during the share because they don't want to be rude, to interrupt them. But at least if they do come back in and share and redirect the meeting, I think that one is okay. But generally speaking, the chairperson should be in a position where they can diplomatically show some diplomacy, tact in how they interrupt a share. Okay. So hopefully that helps you. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you. Have a beautiful day on purpose.